The twin suns of Velo set low across the horizon, painting the desert in streaks of crimson and gold. On the edge of a crumbling outpost, an old man sat quietly, his hands wrapped around a tin mug of steaming tea. His name was Captain Elias Thorne, retired officer of the Interstellar Fleet, once known across the stars as the Iron Captain. But those days had long passed. His hair was silver now, his frame bent with age, his once sharp eyes softened by memory. For 15 years he had lived in solitude, keeping company only with the shifting sands and the occasional trader who passed by his lonely station. He was content, or at least he told himself he was. Yet sometimes in the silence of the night, he thought of her, the alien girl with emerald eyes and skin like polished obsidian. Her name was Leora, daughter of the Kareth clan, one of the fiercest alien tribes of the sector. He had met her during the Velker campaign, when human forces clashed with the Kareth. But unlike most, Elias had chosen mercy. He had saved her life once in the chaos of battle, and against all odds she had become his ally, even his trusted second-in-command. For 2 years they fought side by side, protecting innocents, saving colonies, and forging bonds that neither fleet politics nor species differences could shatter. But one day, she was gone. The war ended abruptly, and Leora was summoned back to her clan. They parted with no promises, only a look that spoke of loyalty, gratitude, and a friendship stronger than words. That was 15 long years ago. Elias never expected to see her again. The desert night fell. Elias was cleaning the outpost beacon tower when he heard it, a low, rhythmic hum. His ears strained. It wasn't the sound of desert winds or trader skiffs. This was something heavier, stronger. Then he saw the glimmer on the horizon, dozens of figures moving in unison, their shapes outlined by the starlight. He grabbed his old blaster rifle out of instinct, but as they drew nearer, his hand trembled. These were not raiders. These were Kareth warriors. Their armor gleamed, their banners fluttered, and at their center rode a tall figure, cloaked in silver. Elias's breath caught in his throat. When she dismounted, pulling back her hood, he saw her face, the same emerald eyes, the same proud stance. But she was no longer the young warrior girl he remembered. She was a leader now. Captain. Her voice carried through the stillness, low and steady. She walked closer until firelight from his beacon revealed the years etched into both of them. Then she bowed deeply, her hand over her chest. It's an honor to serve you again, Captain. Elias almost dropped his rifle. For a moment, the years melted away. He saw her as she had been, a fiery warrior at his side, calling him Captain even though he had told her 100 times to call him by his name. Leora, his voice cracked. After all this time, she looked up and a faint smile touched her lips. 15 years. My clan has not forgotten what you did. You spared me, you spared my people, when others would have burned our villages. My father never forgot, and neither have I. Elias shook his head slowly. That was a long time ago. I'm not a captain anymore, just an old man with aching bones. But before he could protest further, the ground seemed to tremble. More Kareth warriors stepped forward, kneeling before him in unison. Their armor clashed against the sand, their heads bowed. Leora's voice rose. Captain Elias Thorne, the Kareth clan owes you a life debt. For years, we waited until the stars aligned, until my people were strong enough to travel beyond our borders again. Now, we return to honor that debt. The old man was speechless. A life debt? To me? Yes, Leora said firmly. The Kareth do not forget, and we do not abandon those who stood with us. You are clan brother to us now. Elias tried to laugh it off, but emotion caught in his throat. He had spent so many years alone, forgotten by the very fleet he gave his youth to. And now here stood an entire alien clan, warriors and leaders, honoring him as if he were still their commander. That night, the outpost that stood in silence for 15 years was alive with voices, drums, and firelight. The Kareth prepared a great feast in his honor. Elias sat among them, his heart heavy with memories but lifted by the sight of Leora at his side once more. They spoke of the past, of battles long gone, of choices that had changed the tides of war. And as the night deepened, Leora told him why she had truly returned. "The stars are not at peace," she said quietly, her eyes reflecting the flames. "The Federation stirs again. Old enemies rise. My people need allies, and I need you. One last time, Captain, will you stand with us again?" Ending. Elias looked into her eyes. For 15 years, he had hidden from the galaxy, convinced his days of fighting were done. Yet in that moment, he realized something. The fire inside him had never truly gone out. He was still a captain, not because of a title or a uniform, but because of the people who believed in him. He placed a trembling hand over hers. "If my bones will carry me, I'll stand with you. One last time." Leora's smile was small but fierce, the same smile he remembered from the battlefield. She stood and raised her voice so all could hear. "The Iron Captain returns. Let the stars know the Kara stand with him." A thunderous cheer erupted across the desert night. Over the following days, Elias walked among their camp, meeting warriors young and old, learning of their customs, feeling something he had thought lost forever: family. And when dawn broke on the 7th day, he stood before the Kareth, armored once more in plates gifted by their smiths, the clan's banner at his back. Leora stood beside him, her presence steady and unyielding. Together, they looked at the horizon where new wars and new challenges waited. Elias, once forgotten, now carried not only his own legacy but the honor of an entire clan. The desert winds howled, carrying his voice as he spoke words he had not uttered in years. "Forward, my friends. We have work to do." And as the Kareth clan marched with him, banners high under the twin suns, Elias Thorne knew his story was not ending. It was beginning again.